Islam. I rise giving all praise due to Allah, the Father of the universe, the great God of the universe. I rise giving highest honor to his prophet, Noble Drew Ali, the founder of the Moorish American nation, Moorish Divine Movement, and Moorish Science Temple of America, and this great, mighty missionary work that we are doing here in this day and time. I also give highest respects to all those who have truly been followers, faithful followers, true and faithful followers of the Prophet, Allah, Islam, and everything that this movement stands for. Now, I've been asked about the statement that I made concerning the term, the whole world would know. Right? This is something that we speak of here. The whole world would know. And I'm going to give a brief demonstration on that fact of how and why the whole world would know. You know, we also have another statement that falls into, which is, we will take over the world by taking the Moorish Science Temple all over the world. Right? Now, how would this be done? You know, in an article in the Moorish Guide, the original Moorish Guide from 1928-1929, a sister gives a demonstration in there where she talks about, she heard the Prophet talk a couple of times about a statement of concerning marching on to Canaan. And originally, when she heard these speeches from the Prophet, she thought he was referring to some pie in the sky demonstration. She thought he was referring to going somewhere in the heavens in the sky. But as she heard him speak on and on, she learned and came to realize the heavenly state he was talking about, the Canaan that he was talking about, the promised land that he was talking about, was right here on earth. Something they was going to accomplish and build that they were marching on to right here on earth. The question is, are we still marching towards that? Are we still marching towards what is ours? The whole world is ours. The original man is us. We are the founders and fathers and mothers of all civilization. But are we still marching on? As I begin to talk to more and more Moors, and the fact that all Moorish Americans are supposed to be Muslims, it's surprising to me that in our march, most of them don't understand when the march truly began. They are under the assumption that it all began in 1913. Even though chapter 45 of the Holy Quran MCFA lets you know that the uniting of Islam began with the command given to Prophet Muhammad. Really, it began before that with the works of Jesus, which Muhammad fulfilled. But Muhammad was given the command to unify Islam. And thus began our march all across the world. If you look at the works of Prophet Muhammad, then everything that came out of it, the first Islamic empire, which was expressly created and founded for unifying all of Islam all around the world, all Muslims all over the world, you will see that the march began with Muhammad. What he began doing is made its way through time. And nowadays, that time has come, that it is our time. It is our turn to carry on the march, which is what the Prophet was doing. If you look at the Divine Mission Statement on the affidavit, it says that the Moorish Science of America derives its power and authority from the great Quran of Muhammad. You know, all of this is tracing itself back. What power and authority were we given? The first one tells you the propagation of the faith of Muhammad. That means from over there in the East, this propagation, this marching to propagate the faith, started in the East and has taken us all the way to the West, here in the Americas. We are a continuation of that. We are a fulfillment of that. The very command of Allah that was given to Muhammad is what we are fulfilling. That command is where we derive our power and authority from. That command which was given to Muhammad and placed into a book called the Holy Quran of Mecca, that divine instruction, that divine communication is now found its way here into the Americas. And our prophet has continued that command. He has continued that. with the Holy Quran and the Embassy of A. Now, in the article I mentioned by the sister, she said that at that Canaan, at that place, have our own, that we would have the gold, silver, and greenbacks, that we would have the riches, that we would have the financial freedom and independence to create our world, to do what is necessary to rebuild and reform our world, to reorganize it, to reshape it, according to natural divine law, the laws of Allah. That's what it means to be a Muslim. That's why we say the whole world would know, because we still marching. And we're going to march all over the world, taking the Moorish Science Temple all over the world. Now, in trying to demonstrate of what we see in the Holy Quran of the Embassy of A, chapter 41, verses 24 to 33, it talks about the exalted figures. Now, the exalted figure is us. The original exalted figure here in America is Prophet Noble Ali, the first one who saw the temple of happiness fall off and marched to it, putting everything under the tread of his feet. Everything that would oppose him, everything that would object him, everything that would resist him, he put under the soles of his feet. And as we follow those clear-cut footsteps of him marching, as a teacher does not just point the way, he makes the way himself. He directs the path, and his followers follow him. As we follow him, we are marching onto that temple of happiness, the Moorish Science Temple all over the world. Right? This is our happiness. This is what we are working for. This is what we are working towards. This is all that we have in this our temple group here. If you want to join this march, then we are welcome. Because we need all the marches we can get. We need all the soldiers that we can get. We need everyone who knows their conditions can be better and wants to put the world under the tread of their feet. Wants to march on to that promised land, that heavenly state, or what we call here the sovereign and superior state of existence over all of existence. Because that's what we're marching on to. We're marching on to our sovereignty. We're marching on to our superiority. Because in the Holy Quran, Embassy, we are told that man is given superiority and command. We are marching on to our command over politics, our command over economics, our command over social life, our command over education, our command over science and technology, our command over healthcare, our command over all things concerning the Moorish American nation, our command over all things concerning Islam, because we are all Muslims. In chapter 45 of the Holy Quran, you see the names of all the nations that were marching outwardly. That's how they got to the different nations they got to. That's how they got to the different places they got to. That's how the Muslims ended up in Japan and China. That's how the Muslims ended up in Arabia, Persia, Turkey, places in Europe. We even had Muslims in Europe, that's right. If you go there now, a whole lot of them Europeans are still Muslims from our works, from our marching on. Right? At one point, the Ottoman Empire, which was a Muslim empire, had control over Europe, Africa, and Asia. At that point, Islam ruled almost the entire world. If you look at the article, the historic message by the Prophet, you'll see that he said there's over 250 million souls that are Muslims. 250 million in 1928, 1929. We're marching. And today, we are the leaders of this march. And in our temple group here, that's what we are doing. So if you want to join the march, you can come join us. And be a part and parcel of all uplifting acts. Marching is that uplifting acts. Every uplifting act, that's another step in the march. Our own grocery stores, our own supermarkets, our own farmland, our own industries, our own car manufacturing companies, our own oil distributing companies, our own oil digging companies, our own diamond mines, our own gold mines, our own school system, our own healthcare system, hospitals, clinics. We're marching on to all of that. And eventually, as time goes on and we get enough marchers, our own national government over our own national territories, where we are completely in total control of our destiny.